How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So today is March 24th, 2018, and there is a national movement today to have a march for our lives. So it's a march where people are standing up against gun violence, which is something that we should obviously all be concerned with. People using guns to kill innocent lives in places where they are unprotected and ultimately left hopeless is a true crime. But the idea behind this march today is that we need to ban all guns and make it harder for the common man to go out and purchase a firearm that they choose to have. And I just disagree with this on a fundamental level. So I'm going to go down to the state capitol and hold up a sign and try to see if anybody will talk to me and see if we can come to an agreement on some things. And I want to understand why exactly we have to ban guns to end the problem, why exactly we aren't focusing on some of the other issues at hand, why we have to strip constitutional rights before looking at some of the other solutions to the problems that gun violence has brought about, that has caused gun violence here in our country. So come along with me. Let's see what we can find out. Okay, so I just got into the general vicinity of where this protest is going on downtown, and I gotta say it is pretty packed. I mean, there's a lot of people out here, which is good. I think that people should definitely stand up for the things that they believe in. It's definitely good to be energized and to stand up for what you believe in.
Next, we have Molly Jimerson, who is a personal survivor and one of our organizers, and a really dear friend of mine.
Okay, so I'm sitting here actually, tons of people, and I found a nice little faction of so-called Trump supporters to, I guess, stand nearby, just because I definitely feel like I'm the minority here, which is to be expected, but they are armed, so I feel a little bit more safe because ultimately there's a bit of a discrepancy between force here. So anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and start holding up my sign and see if anybody comes up to me and has anything good to say. So wish me luck.
I hit the red button, right?
Wait, it might be on video, sorry. Oh, yeah, it's on video. But what I'm saying
we're
is,
not saying that people
but what I am
who
saying,
have guns will be incarcerated.
No.
We're just simply saying there needs
that's
to
not
be
what I
a
was getting
set
at.
of laws that control.
That's not what I was getting
effects
at.
of an irresponsible population.
What I was getting at is that guns can be used as a tool of peace, even in the society, not just in a forest somewhere where there's elk and deer to be hunted. Think about when this country was being founded, okay? And we were subject to a tyrannical government, and we had.
We're not there anymore.
Right, but who's to say that we're not to be there again? Look at Venezuela.
Until we get there.
Look at Colombia. Look at Colombia. Look at North Korea. I mean, this is 2018, isn't it?
Yes, but
so
we're
you're saying
not
that it's
North Korea
not
either. We're here.
Right, and guess what? A large reason why America is not North Korea is because we have fundamental rights. We have people that are going to stand up for them. Just like myself, just like every person here. You're standing.
Every country, every culture has its own way of dealing with things. Since I am from this country and this culture, What I say to
So-
you is there must be a way.
Sure.
Since we have the ultimate freedoms, there must be some sort of sanction to take care
I agree.
of the situation where you have irresponsible
But here's the-
people. And that's all that I'm saying.
That's a
I'm
great
not
point.
saying I'm coming to your house to get your gun and I'm going to, burn it down in front of you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying the law is too broad and it doesn't consider that there are people who are irresponsible who will take advantage of it.
Sure.
As is evidenced by the fact that Parkway
So let me ask you this. So at what point when our rights start getting chipped away at, do you stand up for the Constitution itself? Because what happens
when it says I, Beverly McCormick, can come to your house, kick your door in, and take your gun?
What I'm asking you though is where do you draw your line? Is it your First Amendment?
I just told you.
But what you're
say
saying
that the First Amendment needs to be rewritten. Because it is no longer appropriate for the time in which we are living. That's all.
a real patriot. I have a YouTube channel. If you want to look me up, I can give you my name.
Where do I get my husband on?
Sure.
Help me. Yeah, I'll take
So
your
so
name.
you're saying
I'm
that.
saying that, all these common sense things aren't common sense. Just get rid of the.
So you said automatic firearms.
That's it. That's all I'm here for.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
Yes.
where if I wanted to go buy, I have guns. I've been legally allowed to purchase guns for 4 years now. If I wanted to go buy a 22,
Okay, that's
if I wanted to legally go buy a fully automatic rifle right now, where would I go?
anywhere. Internet, yeah.
Well, they're semi-automatic.
They're semi-automatic.
Semi-
I'm sorry.
It
I'm
doesn't
not.
matter.
Yeah.
Semi-automatic
You know what
are
else?
more accurate and more dangerous than automatic
Yeah.
weapons.
I always
And
call it.
So let me-
being a Vietnam veteran, that's what they taught you with your M16, and M16 has no place in public.
That's right.
It's for war. It's to kill enemies. If you consider your local people here your enemy, then buy yourself an M16.
And the other thing
I don't think
about
that's true. I really
Yes,
don't think
that
that's
is
true.
That is true. You can
No.
go to a target range and shoot those. Why don't you check them out like they do in Australia, at a target range, and have fun with it? That's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, that's
But why
exactly
do
what you do.
Why do you need
Altogether.
it in the public?
They should. Okay. So
should
so
ban
so so
M16s.
so we, and M16s are not. You realize M16
An AR-15.
An AR-15,
It's
okay.
the same damn gun.
So do you realize that a Ruger 5.56 is the
Yes.
same exact gun,
Yes.
but it's not black, and it's not
and it's not as,
high
it's
capacity.
not as fast, and
And
it doesn't. Its projectiles aren't as accurate, and they're not as fast, and they don't create the
you're
damage.
I mean that an AR 5.56, which is a wooden gun, it should be allowed.
No.
But an AR-15 shouldn't.
No, we don't want either one of them. But here's the deal with those AR-15s. The bullets ricochet through your body. All those kids that were hurt, the bullets ricochet through their body. They tear up the body parts.
But do you not think that maybe the fact that the FBI was tipped off 39 times might have put a little bit of a bug in the ears?
That's another thing.
That is.
That's not
No,
what
but-
we're
but it-
dis-
but I
that's
mean-
not-
but let me
that's
ask you
not
this.
what we're discussing.
Okay.
The gun shouldn't be in there.
And when his mom is the one calling and tipping off the FBI, somebody's close to him. Do you not think that maybe that has something to do with it?
we're
I
not
mean,
talking
With
about
what?
that.
With what?
The fact that he shouldn't have been allowed to buy that firearm in the first place.
Yeah, we agree. So let's have some laws
right,
about
yeah,
that.
no, okay,
we
that's
agree
fine.
With that. That's a good.
But here's my thing. Are you're standing here to ban semi-automatic rifles?
Yes, and
But you're not.
and the bullets.
Okay, but you're not here to put a restriction on mental health.
No, we
to
are.
help mental.
We're for all of that. I'm
Okay.
just saying, let's start someplace.
So-
And the place
so-
to start is the gun that kills. The person is another story. If the person is mentally ill and he can't buy the gun because it doesn't exist in our public places or even online or anywhere else, then the gun can't kill anybody if the person's mentally ill or not.
Well,
I would rather
regardless,
stand here-
if you are a mentally ill person and you try to purchase a firearm, you're by default a criminal.
That's right.
Right. So why? So if we're trying to ban criminals for buying guns, doesn't that seem a little counterintuitive? Because criminals aren't allowed to buy guns. So what are you trying to restrict in that
You're
case?
That's
making
because then you have the argument. Well, if you ban the guns, criminals will get guns. You know, so
Well,
here's both sides
okay,
of your mouth,
right.
man.
But
So
here's the thing. But
don't
let's
make
let's
the
think
guns-
let's think
make
about
them harder
states.
to buy.
Let's think about states where let's okay. Hold on, real quick. Let me ask you something. Okay, so there's restrictions on semi-automatic rifles in many states in this country. One of which is Illinois, where Chicago is, which is the highest per capita
Yeah,
gun
and they
crime.
drive from one state to the next with
And
their
buy the
weapons.
guns
You know why?
Because they can buy it.
Weapons.
And
Yeah.
And because they're criminals. Criminals will find a way to buy guns.
See, there's that argument
even if the
that
guns
makes-
are
It
illegal.
makes absolutely
No.
no sense.
To you,
All right,
maybe,
look up
but
Australia. Look at,
Right.
look at Australia.
And
They
you-
banned them 20 years ago, and they haven't had a mass shooting since.
We're worried about mass shootings. We're
And
worried
they
about
bought
children.
the guns back. They
And they
bought the
bought the guns back.
where in their constitution does it say that they have a right to a Second Amendment?
It doesn't
though?
say they
It
have
doesn't.
A,
It doesn't. That's
say
exactly
you have
correct.
a right for
It doesn't-
an assault
That's-
weapon.
that's-
Okay, well then
It
you don't
says-
have a right to use Twitter
Wait a
or the
minute.
internet as
Do
your
you have
First
a right-
Amendment.
Do you have a right to buy bombs? Do you have a right to?
No, and guess what? You can't. I want you to, but it's not a firearm.
This,
It's
this is a weapon of mass
we're
destruction.
getting nowhere.
And here we go. I can explain it for you, but I can't understand it for you. And I'm really sorry, but you need to open your mind to other possibilities.
Have either
And the
have you
number
have,
one
did you guys grow up around guns at all? I mean, you say you were in the
I was in the
right.
Army.
He was in the
Right,
army in
but-
What
Vietnam.
did they do in the
dude.
service? Okay, let me give you an example. They had a They had a shooting in a recruitment station. The Army said, everybody said, let's arm the people in the recruitment station. What did the military say?
I don't know.
They said, no way. Because they care more about their service people than you care about your citizens.
It's not true. That's
Yes,
that's the thing.
it's true.
Coach,
They
let
won't
me ask
let you
something.
carry. I shot an M16 only when I was training or qualified. When I walked around the military base, I didn't carry a loaded weapon with me because it wasn't allowed. And you say, oh, okay, well, the more weapons, the safer. That's just total crapola.
Okay, well then why do we have armed guards in our malls and in our
Because they're
banks?
trained to be
Right,
armed guards.
Right, and do you not think that security guards can be trained?
He has a uniform on. I know who he is. I know he has a weapon,
Can I tell you
and he
something?
has some kind of
In order
background.
for me to get a concealed carry permit, I have to go through training too. I'm not just
You know
some.
what?
I
We're
went through the
talking-
training in the military. Half the people in the military, I wouldn't have them walk around with automatic
He almost got
weapons.
killed in training because the guy shot in his wrong
And
leg.
they were
Come on.
explaining how to use
What,
it.
what
they
branch of the
lock-
military were you in?
They
in the
lock,
Army.
They lock guns up in the service.
You check them out, you give them the serial number, you check them out, you check them back in, and then that's it.
And you can't-
with that type of weapon, that's what you should do.
And excuse me, but you just need to think about this.
Okay.
I can explain it for you, but I can't understand it for you. The
So,
end. Thank
okay.
you very much.
Well,
Goodbye.
do we
Oh,
want?
I want your log, your card for your log. Whatever it is.
My name is Eric Russell.
Well, you said you had a thing you could give me.
I had a
this.
name. My name is Eric Russell.
And it's your blog?
It's my video, my
Okay,
YouTube
very
channel.
impressive. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have
If
a
you're
change
gonna
of
use,
heart.
if
I
you're
hope
gonna
nobody
use
close.
us, don't,
Yeah,
we want to know about it.
yeah.
I might if I get the audio.
Okay, so
Can we get a little bit more of a conversation real quick then? Because I want to make sure that I have all of your positions
those are
stated.
good enough. My position
Okay.
is get rid of this.
Okay, well,
Assault
okay.
weapons.
Assault weapons were weapons that were created for war shouldn't be on the public street.
Well, what about mediums for free speech that are meant to go out to the entire world? Should we not put a ban on those? 'Cause that's exactly what the internet is. I mean that's exactly
Well,
what
if
Twitter
you
is.
can
That's
kill
exactly,
someone with your words and that accurately, and just by pulling him
it's
out.
not about what kills and what's
No,
not. It's
don't
about what's protected
talk
under the
about what-
Constitution.
No,
I mean,
it's
you
not
fought for it.
protected.
Did you, yeah, it is.
No.
Well, okay. Well, then by that logic, if AR-15,
Everything
if
isn't
somehow-
protected.
Okay. Well, then neither
And
is your.
grenades aren't protected. I can't drive a tank. I can't use a
You can drive a
machine
tank
gun.
actually. You can't arm the tank, but you can drive a tank. It's
Well, that's bullshit. I mean, the arguments
say what
are.
you will. Maybe you're in the wrong state, man. Like,
So you're saying a state should regulate, just
Absolutely.
like they regulated voting, just like they at one
well,
time they
I think
regulated.
as long as it's constitutional, sure.
Well, your interpretation of the Constitution is it's not.
Well, so
it's-
okay. Well, if we're allowed to put limitations to our Second Amendment,
Sure
well,
you are.
Well, then would you
They
say we're
already
allowed-
have 'em.
Okay. Well, then would you say we're allowed to put limitations to our First Amendment or our Fourth Amendment? or
Sure
our
you
Sixth
are.
Amendment?
There are already regulations. You can't yell here that there's someone with a weapon that's going to shoot everybody and
yeah,
cause a
because-
stampede.
Right, because that's
There are always
just
regulations.
But that's disorderly conduct. I mean that's inciting fear in
That's right.
people.
And if
that's
someone
illegal.
walks in here with the M16 that's loaded, that's inciting fear.
I'm not afraid. You were
Then
in
why
war,
would
man.
you be
You
a-
were in war, man. Your
Yeah,
fellow
and I know
troops.
better. I
No,
know
your
better.
fellow troops who were standing next to you. Were you afraid of them? They had
Goddamn right, I was afraid of them with a loaded weapon.
Maybe you shouldn't
That's
have been in the
why you
army,
pointed.
man. But I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this much, right?
You wait and see.
As long
You
as
wait and
I'm,
see.
as long
And
as I'm on American soil,
congratulations.
as long as I'm on American soil and I'm not on a military base, I have a constitutional right to hold my gun however I want to. Just like how you have a right to use your words, your speech, however you want to.
I can't drive my car wherever I want to. I can't.
But your car's not protected by the Constitution, man.
Your guns aren't protected by the Constitution.
Okay,
Your
well-
right to have one is, but the type of gun you have, no, it's not.
Well, so is your freedom of speech then. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
That's
If we're gonna
right.
put.
That's right.
All right, well then,
That's
let's see you give up your email address then. Give up your internet. Your
You
right
give
to
it
a
up
free.
every day. I give it
how
up
so?
I give it up every day on the internet. I give it up every day on Facebook.
But is that not your choice?
Yes,
'Cause
it is
I have
my
a-
choice. It's
and I-
my choice to
So-
keep my kids, my grandkids, from fear from being shot by some idiot that carries around a semi-automatic weapon that was built to kill the enemy.
So by that logic, if I want to ban you from using your First Amendment, I have that right because you think you have a
Of course
right.
you do.
So you think you have a right
Sure
to
you
ban
do.
my Second Amendment. So therefore, I have my right to
Certain
ban.
parts of it, yes. That's
I
exactly
feel like
right.
I feel like if you were in the army and you were serving to protect our values as a country, you might have wanted to look at the Constitution once or twice before joining.
I've already looked at the Constitution. We're not banning weapons. We're banning certain weapons.
Okay, you said semi-automatic rifles.
Yes. Semi-automatic assault weapons. If you want to use them
So define for me an assault weapon because
it's a weapon built for war. It's
okay.
very easy to find out.
So in
Pick up any-
1776, a musket was built for war. Should we have banned those?
That was
back
the
then?
only weapon they had.
Well, you said it yourself, but you have M16s in the army.
That's right.
Okay, well that's what I'm saying. It's about having an equal and
They were funding a militia. They didn't have a standing army. They
Like you
wanted
said.
people to have a weapon so they could bet. We have the National Guard.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to fund the militia. The militia is the National Guard. Okay, so think about that for a while, okay?
I've been having some useful debates here. I think it's going pretty well. Holding my sign loud and proud. I'd say I've had 3 solid debates now. Nobody's changed my mind. I haven't changed anybody's mind, but I think that we both come to some pretty logical conclusions. So.
Medic, please. Everyone be quiet and tell us where we need the medic. Over there? Over there. Okay. It's over there. It looks like it's right there. Standing straight. Right
So the march has started and I've kind of switched my position to a little bit higher level. Nobody seems to be coming up to me. They see my sign and they kind of laugh, but they don't realize that I'm quite serious. I did have a couple of reporters come up and snap my picture, get a statement, so hopefully that'd be cool if I got put in some type of social media post or something, but we'll see. So we're gonna stick around here a little bit longer. Oh, also, one of the lovely Trump supporters over here came over and gave me a bottle of water, which I am extremely thankful for because it is hot. So, I mean, I'm having a good time though. I mean, I'm not being threatened and nor am I threatening anybody else. It hasn't gotten violent. Yeah, good times. Right in the line of fire here. Got my sign here. Haven't had anybody come up and debate me in a while, so let's see. Right in the line of fire here. Alright, so I'm out here with my sign. I'm holding it up in the line, right where all the protesters are walking, and not a single person is coming over and talking to me. I'm open to discussion though, so if anything changes, I will gladly get it on video, because I think that anybody with a huge platform like mine would love to get on camera. So. Come here. Let's talk. Let's talk. Come on. Come here. Let's have a discussion. I'm in the very front of the protest now. Let's see if anybody wants to talk with me.
Shame on Juicy! 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 No, it's me! We will not be next! 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 We will not be next!
They're at least useful. They're at least useful.
You're at the front of the line, guys. Not getting anybody who wants to talk with me. This is good. Peaceful protest. God bless America, guys. Getting flipped off. Nobody wants to talk with me. Hopefully one of these guys will gather some courage. Come talk with me. Let's talk. Let's go. All right. That's fine. Yeah, let's do it. Those aren't legal. Those aren't legal. Get it right. Those are not legal. All right, so it got pretty heated there for a minute. I've been standing on that corner for probably at least an hour to an hour and a half now. I had about maybe a dozen people come up and talk to me, and I had a ton of people who were on my side who came up and got behind me as well. And particularly there was one gentleman who was there for at least a good 30 minutes who I talked with, and I think it was actually a very productive conversation. I think that we both disagreed on fundamental philosophies on how guns should be approached in this country, and just to lay it out there, and hopefully this audio picks up, because I don't want to have to re-record this. But my argument for guns is, if we look at this country, we look at the way it was founded, and we know that at the time when the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and ultimately the country as we know it was formed, the military had muskets, they had black powder rifles, and if I was a common law-abiding gun owner at the time, or just a regular citizen, I too would have that same gun. And if we go to the Civil War, when guns like the rolling block 4570 was a weapon of the military. Again, if I was a law-abiding citizen, I could buy that gun. And so, go to the 1950s, after World War II, M1 Garands become they were used in the war. After the war, people they owned M1 Garands, and so you can't make the argument that military weapons aren't to be used by the populace, because historically that's been false. And so that's my argument. I mean, I agree that there should be some regulations on firearms, sure. I just don't think that infringing outright on the Second Amendment is the right solution. People love to bring up the fact that other countries that have bans on firearms are less violent. And that might be true, but they also might not have the same freedom of speech that we do. They might not have the same legal and political processes that we do, which ultimately, if you try to argue that the political process in Cuba or China or North Korea is better than ours, I would like to think that you're sorely on the wrong side of history. And so yeah, I think that argument doesn't hold either. But I mean, I had a good conversation, and I think that I held myself very well. I had a ton of people come up from both sides: gun control, pro-gun control, anti-gun control, shaking my hand, saying you're doing good work, that I was doing what needs to be done, and that brings a smile to my face. So I gotta go find my car at this point, because I have no idea where it was that I parked. But I mean, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you get a lot of the audio and stuff that I was recording. So I think that a lot of people might be interested in what I had to say. So see you guys in the next one.